supporting my parents and my team. I'm perfectly fine. I'm covered under the First Amendment to peacefully protest and assemble.
And Coach Orlando Gooden also told me today that he doesn't see a reason to continue having his team kneel. They did it once. It was for the players, and they also learned a lesson.
How you living? Welcome to my channel. I've been thinking. Our society is supposed to implode on itself and destroy itself from the inside out for what?
Fight over skin color. If my dad was here, Reverend A.D. King, my uncle Martin Luther King Jr., they'd say Acts 17:26, one blood. So it's not about the skin color. It's the conditions that are so oppressive. So all white people are not devils. All black people are not angels. It goes so far beyond skin color. I can understand the frustration. And so you will respond to immediately what you see. And that's maybe skin color. But it's the heart that really counts. I really want the viewers to know that I have really good friends in law enforcement myself, various ethnic groups. Right in Atlanta, Georgia, my mother's car was vandalized, and the police department responded quickly and came in to help get the community back in order. So the police departments are not the enemies. You have some bad police officers and some good ones. But do not lump all law enforcement into one little bundle. We've got to allow them to do their jobs.
Yeah, and as you want.
They need to understand the difference between injustice and police brutality and law enforcement. It's a simple formula. You break the law, you shoot someone, sell drugs, beat someone up, break in, steal a car, speed, whatever, you're going to jail. It ain't because you're black, it's because you're a criminal.
I was walking up Joy Road. As soon as I was cross paths, green on them Joy, they were standing right there. Come here, nigga. You feel me? A little short nigga and a fat nigga. I walked up, I ain't got shit. What y'all gonna take, bro? He told my nigga, take your shoes off. My shoes, nigga? Y'all niggas robbing niggas for shoes?
What you had on, some J's? I
had on them $200, them Air Force One boots. Them bitches $200, bro, for sure.
Won't y'all go and protest up in the hood? Won't you protest where people are killing each other? Won't you protest against these thugs that's killing people?
So if we can address the black-on-black crime in our community, I think we would be better off than saying, you know, well, there's racial. Yeah, there is, because they're stopping blacks who shoot blacks.
How does it feel to have to live in a neighborhood where you have bars on the doors and windows and you cannot sit outside? You cannot play outside. How does that feel? Is that not oppression? How does it feel to have to be careful where you sit in the house, where you live, because somebody drives by and shoots the place up? They're not talking about that. They're not talking about the fact that the life expectancy of a black person in the battlefields of Iraq and Afghanistan is longer than in the streets of Chicago, Miami, Detroit, Oakland. I've driven through Alabama and Arkansas at 2, 3, and 4 o'clock in the morning in the most expensive model of the vehicle, of my vehicle of choice, the most expensive and exclusive and limited model that my vehicle of choice ever made. And I've driven through these places in the middle, from between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning, past police officers. They didn't stop me and say, oh, look, there goes a nigga in an expensive car. Pull him over, he's a dope dealer. They didn't pull me over. It didn't happen. I've walked down the streets in the streets of the city. Police officers didn't come up and say, hey boy, get up against that wall, nigger. Why is this happening to them? Unless there are causal factors that they're unwilling to discuss.
We, in the black community, we also suffer because a lot of times you get a black man or woman, young person, handling business, getting good grades, and they're called an Uncle Tom for no other reason than they get good grades. There are people that are called not black enough because they do well. So that's leeching on to the subject of racism. And you know, the NFL players, you know, they're right there with it. And the thing is, I've said many times before, okay, you hold up the fist, you take a knee, whatever, what do you do in the community? Well, there was a man that I'd like you to hear this story. It's very sad. He actually quit his job and decided to renovate his father's house, turning it into a community center in the black community to help black people. And I'll just let him tell the rest. It's really, it's hard to listen to say the least.
This is the first video message I've ever made. This is probably the hardest one I'll ever make. My dad bought a house 25 years ago on the same street that I live on now. And I chose within the past 6 months to turn this house into a community center for the neighborhood. After it's been broken into numerous times and it needed a lot of work and whatnot, so I've been over there putting in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And today I came across the people that's been breaking in there. This is what they did to me. This is what they did to me. Right here, right here, right here. I want to do something good for my people. Tired of struggling, sick of it. Just trying to do the best that I can for my people. This is my dog, Joni. She's helping me get through this. Tired of seeing us hurt. I kept asking them why. I kept asking them why. Why? They couldn't say. They don't know. I didn't know for years. I didn't know why. But it's real. The feeling is real. Don't doubt what you hear and what you see other people, other black people tell you. Don't doubt it, because it's real. The pain we feel is real. The hurt we feel is real. But I still love all my people. I love everyone. I love you.
We're setting us up to where to accept black, you have to accept that thug thing. You can't have one without the other. And we're setting it up that way. And white liberals who walk around with the black mask and protest right alongside, they never get to live in it. They're in college. They don't get to deal with it, not even 3 days. So they don't know. If you don't want to be called a racist, you have to pretend that that thug thing don't exist or accept it. And then other non-blacks who refuse to accept it, they're called racists. And we're setting us up to where whites or other races who don't have a problem with black are going to have a problem with black, not because of the skin color,
but because of that thug thing that we insist on bringing to the table. And then the black working class, who just want to live, love, and live their life in peace. They know to just keep their mouth shut because they don't want to be called Uncle Toms.
We must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred.